Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen, fans of AutoTalk.com. It's I, Christian Mel. We're going to do a driving review again today. And this week we are in the 2015 Mini John Cooper Works Hardtop.
The 2015 Mini John Cooper Works Hardtop beats you over the head with interesting and sporty touches. The red outline side lights with JCW logo, Works exclusive 18-inch alloy wheels, and dual center exit exhaust work with the car's spoiler and optional Rebel Green paint to make this hot hatch look fast and aggressive. Even with the larger nose and its various grills, this JCW 3-door still maintains that classic Mini look and proportion. But does it drive as good as it looks?
Alright, let's go ahead and jump right into the meat of things. Sitting inside this cabin is pretty wonderful if you're sitting in the front. So I've got these great John Cooper Works Sport Bucket seats that hold me, and while they were uncomfortable when I first got into the car, it just took me a while to fiddle with them because there's a lot of adjustments, and once you get them adjusted just right, they feel great. I like the sculpting on the back. I love this interior design. Look at this. It's black with the checkered racing stripe that are off-centered. It's awesome. It's gorgeous. Up here I've got this huge sculpted leather steering wheel. Nice contrast red stitching, and BMW does some of the best steering wheels in the business, and this is no different. It's nice, it's thick, it's well molded, kind of juts out away from the console a bit. It just feels perfect. This is an ideal steering wheel. Space, for being such a tiny car, that's not as tiny as it used to be, but for being a car this size, there is a fair bit of space, and they're very smart with it. So you've got door pockets, and cup holders, and another cubby, and the glove box is pretty good size. And then here in the middle I've got this weird armrest with an integrated pocket. So there's a fair bit of storage. There's nothing behind the seats, really. There are small pockets, but because the seat backs are sculpted to make more legroom for the rear passengers, it's sort of not a lot back there. Now let's move to those rear passengers. Yes, there are 4 seats in this, and yes, they will sell you this in a 4-door instead of a 3-door. Those back seats are still not useful for adults for anything more than a short trip. They just aren't. I am not a tall human being. I am 5 foot 8 inches. And in my driving position here, I still would not want to sit behind me for very long. My legs are touching the back of the seat. It's just something that you have to sort of deal with. Now, granted, those back seats will fold down and you're left with a pretty big cargo area. And in a way, I would almost be really excited about seeing Mini sell this 3-door version just with no back seat. Gut the whole back seat and make it a huge cargo area. And I would kind of be interested in something like that with, I've got dogs and horses have to haul hay and grain and all that sort of stuff. So that would be something I would be interested in. Interior, quality and comfort. Again, it's a German car. It's made by BMW. It's spot on. This up here is nice, it's thick like rubber, it's got a great texture to it. I've got this beautiful, huge center area here. It's got a big long screen in it, buttons and knobs for my stereo. Got this great racetrack effect on it, and inside of this is actually an LED light that is my tach. So as I speed up, the tach rises in this light around this center ring. Looks great. Down for the HVAC, I've got big chunky knobs. I've got this nice sunroof up here. I've got a second panoramic sunroof here in the back that I can reach. It's great. It really is. Minis have always had funky, interesting, cool interiors, and this new one is no different. I love spending time in here. It just feels different. It feels interesting. It feels special. And I enjoy that. This is the John Cooper Works edition though, so let's get into the meat of this thing, how it drives. So underneath the hood, I have a 2-liter engine that is actually a BMW engine. It's the same one you're going to be finding in the 2 Series Active Tourer. It makes 231 horsepower, 236 pound-feet of torque. So it is just a punchy little engine, especially in a car this size and weight. This Mini only weighs about 2,800 pounds, so that makes it 500 pounds or so less than a Golf GTI with similar power. So yeah, it's quick. 0 to 60 is about 6 seconds. Top speed is about 140 miles an hour. So it's a pocket rocket, straight up. Of course, to make sure that it handles like a go-kart and not just looks like one, I have lots of little extras. So I've got special JCW exclusive 18-inch alloy wheels that are lightweight. I have huge Brembo brakes up front. They're 4-piston calipers. I've also got something that BMW calls dynamic damper control. So I can adjust the suspension stiffness in the settings. Then I have a big knob here on the bottom that I can click over to sport mode, and that knocks me into my upper level of the DDC. Now, performance for this engine, like I said, is very good. And handling that power is really good too. So BMW has fitted a bunch of electronic fancies in this thing so that you actually don't get much torque steer. It's sort of interesting. Like, it uses the electronic steering control and it uses some fancy electronic limited slip diff trickery up front to keep everything planted and moving the way you want to. And so you hit the gas and you feel the wheel sort of start to bite, and then it just stops. Like, that's when all that magic voodoo happens, and it just sort of stops working and squirming, and you just sort of launch. Throwing it into a corner is impressively hilarious because it uses a lot of that same trickery to keep you from understeering. And you can also feel that work. So you come into a corner really hot, the car starts to slide a bit wide, and you can feel everything sort of like juddering and skipping, trying to pull you into line. And it's sort of interesting and exciting and scary. And then, because this is a Mini and it's a short wheelbase, if you really want to have fun, you can hit this little switch here to turn off all your little traction control and dynamic stability control systems. And when you're coming into a corner hot, you can just let off the gas and the back end will want to slide around on you. It's super, super fun. So it's very quick to change direction. It's very quick to go in a straight line. And then thanks to those big Brembo brakes, when you slam on the brake pedal, ooh, there goes my camera, it is very quick to stop. And all of those things are very good, but you have to be careful when you're trying to put them all together. So one thing I've noticed is if you're coming down from a hard stop, things get squirrely. The car wants to sort of dance and judder and hop a bit when you're coming down really hard on the brakes, and then that can sort of upset you if you're braking hard to come into a turn, which is what you're usually going to be doing. So that's something you have to be concerned about if you're trying to push the car really fast. You have to sort of ease on the brakes. You can still hit hard, but definitely not like 10/10. Don't go to threshold braking. You just have to sort of ease off because the car wants to jump around on you a little bit. So to keep it planted, you have to start slowing down just a little bit earlier. And from a performance standpoint, that's probably the only real weak point I have. I do have an automatic transmission in this car. It's a $1,500 option. It's a sport-tuned 6-speed. I can bump it over into the little S mode, and it works pretty good, actually. Shifts are pretty quick and fairly smooth, and then I've got paddles here on the steering wheel if I want them. So we're going to go down a gear, so I'm in 4th, 3rd. So, I mean, it's not super quick, but it's not super slow. It actually does better when you're letting it handle things on its own. Fuel economy. Fuel economy for this car is rated at 25 in the city, 31 on the highway, 28 overall. I'm getting about 28.6, and I've been doing a lot of hooliganism. I did do a fuel economy run, and I managed to push it to 39. So it will be frugal on fuel if you want it to be. It will swallow fuel if you want it to. Overall, it's just a fun little machine. I like it a lot. The interior is beautiful. It's well designed. I like all the features. I do wish I had a 3rd pedal, but whatever. Like, otherwise, it's great. I really have enjoyed my time with this thing. I like having 2 big sunroofs. It's just great. It really is. There are some downsides, though. Like I said, for one, it is small. You can't put 4 real-sized people in here for any length of time, and that sucks. Because this is the kind of car that's fun enough I'd want to go on a road trip with some friends, and I can't really go on a road trip with friends. You could maybe do 3, but 1 here, squish them up just a bit so they're a little close to the dash, and then do somebody else. You could probably pull that off, but that's about as far as it goes. And then there's the price tag. So this one, as it sits with the options it has, is $39,500, which is a lot of money for a car that's the size of some women's purses. That is just a lot of money. But you can crank that number down if you're a little more choosy in your options. So this car starts, the John Cooper Works Edition starts at $30,500. The reason this one has so much money is because of all the extra goodies it has. So some of them you want to keep, like the dynamic damper control. It's like $700. You want to keep that. But the beautiful sort of dark British racing green paint I have on the outside, that's $1,000. This automatic transmission is $1,500. I have a cold weather package, which is just folding mirrors, power folding mirrors, and heated seats. And that's like $900. So if you keep all of the go faster and nice options like the upgraded stereo and stuff, and you get rid of some of the extra options that don't mean anything, like stripes. I've got black hood stripes. That's like $200. Like, you can cut all that stuff off, and you can get this thing down to like $33,000. So $33,000 puts it into upper Golf GTI range, puts it into, WRX higher end kind of range. And if you're looking at that kind of money, it starts to make a bit more sense. I mean, you can get close to spending $32,000 on a Focus ST if you really want to. So in that regard, this thing makes a lot of sense cash-wise. I really don't think I have too much more to say about this other than it's a Mini Cooper. It feels like a Mini Cooper. It's fun. It's a quick little darty thing with a great engine. Makes a great noise. Oh, and it sort of barks and burbles on the upshift. Like, it's just a good little car. It is a little expensive, but if you go easy on the options, that's not that much of an issue. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I am Christian Moe. This video is a bit shorter than some of our other ones. I wanted to try and cut them down a little bit, try and condense as much info into as short of a span as possible. So if you prefer this over some of our other videos, please let me know. If you haven't seen our other videos, well, go ahead and take a peek at those. See what you think about them. Come back, let us know. I want to know if you guys like the longer videos with a bit more info, or you like the short sort of bang, 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 get everything out and get it done video. So anyways, I'm Christian Moe. This has been an Auto Talk video review for the 2015 John Cooper Works Hardtop 3-door. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. If you liked the video, give us a like. If you didn't like it, give us a dislike. Go ahead and tell us what you liked or didn't. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you with the next review.